Welcome to the Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon presented by Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service. Tuckasegee Fly Service and Guides. Woo, Lordy. I didn't mess. It's early this morning. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service has 3 convenient locations to serve you. 3 Depot Street, Bryson City, North Carolina, 530 West Main Street, Silva, North Carolina, and 110 Depot Street, Waynesville, North Carolina. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service is your number one stop prior and after your epic fly fishing adventure in western North Carolina. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service proudly carries industry-leading brands such as Sims, Sage, Orvis, Corkers, Rio, Scientific Anglers, Hatch, Nautilus, Lamson, Fish Pond, Scott Fly Rods, Echo, Umpqua, Hairline, Nature Spirit, Peak, Norvice, plus a large selection of flies and streamers. Check out www.tuckflyshop.com for streamflow information. Book a lesson or guided trip, or even shop for your favorite Tuckasegee Fly Shop gear. Follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckasegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and on YouTube at Tuckasegee Fly Shop. Here in our Silva shop this morning, we have Bobby, the Bearded Wonder Bennett, Coach Dell Diesel Collins, and I'm your host, Shannon. Big mess. I can't talk this morning. Messer.
Here's your morning moment of wisdom, since we're doing this early in the morning.
What's that?
Never delay kissing a pretty girl or opening a bottle of whiskey. Ernest Hemingway.
Never delay. That's some sound advice out there, folks. That's your snippet. Now, I guess those people that are up at, 2 in the morning to go into the studio to do those live morning shows. Woo!
That's why they do that, like you see in that movie with Will Ferrell, Anchorman. He's like, oh, no, bro, God. Getting that mouth ready.
Part of it, too.
Wake up.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I've got these new progressive lenses here, and
Shannon's getting old, excuse.
Yep. Or more mature.
Aged.
Just like wine, getting better, baby. Outstanding. Well, good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon or evening, depending on what time you're listening to the Tuckcast with your favorite beverage wherever you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's early morning. I'm in water.
Yeah, coffee.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
I've already had breakfast and some water this morning.
Adam, get over here, man.
We got Adam hiding over there. Adam,
I don't think wants to be on the mic.
Adam is marking up the board over there.
So a couple of housekeeping things, which Shannon may have. It looks like he's got a list. I know we have the Norvice thing coming up in October. What's the dates on that? Do y'all remember?
October 15th.
At the Waynesville shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Norvice will be in town. I think that's the same day as the Apple Festival.
That is
in
correct.
Waynesville. So come see us. Go to the Apple Festival. Hang out. Check out a Norvice. Sit down in front of one if you never have, so you can kind of
Go turn the spinny thing.
Yeah, turn the spinny thing and
That's
tie a
right.
fly on it,
Change your life.
all that good stuff. So
That's right.
October 15th. That's a Saturday, right?
Saturday, October the 15th. If it's like it last year, which I expect it to be, tons of folks there in town, in the shop. It was a great time. You can definitely make this a family event. You can include the spouses, things like that, if they don't tie flies, which some of them do. Definitely kind of make a day of it in the town of Waynesville, and certainly come by and see us there. It's a beautiful time to be in.
Absolutely. There was something else that was on my list, and I can't remember what it was now, but
Guess it wasn't a list.
it'll come up.
I didn't. My list is pertaining to today's important topic.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about those.
There's the Fly Tying weekend.
Yeah, so the Southeast Council Federation of Fly Fishers is putting together a fly tires weekend. Traditionally, this event's been held over in Townsend at Little River Outfitters, but we're doing a change of venue. I guess they put it on pause with COVID, and they're coming back, and the venue has changed. So it is now at Western Carolina University, October 22nd. So the following weekend, you can come view. Hopefully there's going to be lots of fly tying demonstrators. It's going to be at the University Center there on campus. So should be a good event. We'll have some kind of presence there. Probably Shannon on a Norvice. So that might come as news to you right now, Shannon. I'm not sure.
Do I get a saddle?
A what?
Said I'm going to be on a Norvice. Do I get a saddle?
I don't get it.
You mean a saddle like one of these?
Like a saddle, man. I said I was going to be in a Norvice.
I don't get it.
Never mind. Keep
That's
going.
over my head.
Let's keep going. Keep going.
Norvice and saddles. And
Just keep
riding.
going. Just keep going.
I just know spinny
Wah,
things.
wah, wah. That was a bad dad joke, I guess.
So I don't know. I'm a dad. I don't get it.
I said it was bad. Good morning, everybody.
So yeah, it should be. We'll see it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean,
Yeah.
If you get there and you're like, this sucks, just go to the football game because it's a home game too.
That's
or
right.
go fishing.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
In the band, go watch the
Cullowhee
band.
Creek right there should be pretty good.
Cullowhee Creek's actually pretty good.
How cool would it be to like be fishing that creek during a football game, hearing the band, that'd be kind of cool actually.
That would.
So I remember, gosh, it's probably been 15 years ago now. I don't know if you were on this trip with me and Just or not, but we came up here in the spring and fished, and then went and caught the spring game. So it's pretty cool to fish in the morning, around the tuck, and then ride over to campus and watch some football. It was pretty cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So fishing and football can't beat that.
So yeah, those are the couple announcements. I can't think there's anything else, but wanted to put those out there before we keep forgetting about them. So I got a story. Y'all want to hear a quick story before we get into the topic?
Tell us a story this
This
morning.
is great.
Yes.
So how many of y'all out there or here have a one of those automatic vacuum cleaners that I know Dale's got one.
I can't remember the last time it ran. I got a Norvice, and then it's just never ran again.
No, I don't have one.
So I have one.
Okay.
And I've got the one. By the way, they're awesome. If you don't have one and you got like hardwood floors or tile or whatever, they're great. I don't know about carpets because I don't have carpet, but they say they work on carpet. I don't know. But they're fantastic. At least the one I have. You can divide the house up into rooms, all that, and you can tell it just to clean the kitchen or your bedroom or whatever. And then it also goes back and it auto dumps the trash. Like when it fills up, it'll come in and dump it and then go back out. It's kind of cool. So last night I'm sitting on the couch and this thing's running and I'm like, it smells weird. What is that smell? This is like 9:30. So I'm just watching the football game.
Can't believe you were up that late.
Watching the football game, messing around on my iPad. And I'm like, that is not a good smell. So I hop up and I look behind the couch and I see it. My dog has gone to the bathroom and the Roomba has gone through it. And luckily,
Now, hold on. We're not, your dog is a dachshund. We're not talking like a big pile of crap.
but he's long and got a lot of intestines, so they come out. They're not short. Let's put it that way. All right.
We're still talking green beans.
Luckily, oh no, they're bigger than green beans. They're more like breakfast sausage.
Gosh, poor dog. Good Lord, he's giving birth over there.
So, anyways, luckily it was solid. All right, but it had like smeared it. Right? So I run over there and I grab the thing and flip it upside down so that it doesn't keep running. Right,
Turtle. Yeah, gotcha.
and I'm like, crap. So I have to clean up the floor. I have to clean up the floor. So then I look at the bottom of the machine after I get the floor cleaned up.
Yeah.
And this stuff is all over the bottom of the machine. And it's got rollers.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
like in the rollers.
Yeah.
So I have to go and take this thing completely apart and clean it. And it
Nope.
takes like an hour.
No, it'd be over. I'd be buying a new one.
So if you have a Roomba or anyone like that, yeah, be aware make sure you take your dog out. Apparently I thought he was good, but he wasn't. And he left it right in front of the vacuum. Maybe he doesn't like that thing. And he said, watch this. I'm going to see what I can do. I don't know.
Something triggered him.
Yeah. So
Factory.
good stuff. I've heard of people having that problem, but with loose.
Oh,
And it like
Oh.
smears it everywhere.
Nah.
this is not good for the morning.
Oh,
morning
that's just
show.
funny.
But anyways, yeah, that was a fun experience last night. Didn't expect to have to do that. So I thought it was a good story.
It was a good story. First, I thought it was a circuit board issue.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I was
You
thinking,
know, like a Clash Charlie fire. Or
Yeah, like
something
something caught on
you
fire.
know, I'm thinking like, here we go, right? Bobby's got to put on his plastic fireman hat, you know, but no.
put on his muck boots.
Got a smear campaign going on at the Bennett house.
He put his muck boots on.
I
the
went
other way.
through almost a whole roll of paper towels cleaning that thing.
Yeah.
Like it was intense. Yeah.
Oh my heavens.
But it's up and running again.
Yeah.
it's good to go.
I'm sure you're not the only one that's happened to out there.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened to several people.
There's got to be some crazy stories about those things.
Yeah. So
yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was funny. After the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Googling Roomba and poop.
There's probably pictures.
There's probably videos.
Poop detection is here. The new Roomba.
Oh, really?
Oh,
they're about to make me spend more money. Them things are expensive as it is.
There's people also ask, does Roomba avoid poop? Here's the answer. The new Roomba J7 Plus actually identifies and avoids cleaning the messes that your furry friend may accidentally leave behind. I don't think Oscar accidentally leaves that behind, just knowing his personality. So you don't have to worry about any potential poop-tastrophes any longer.
Poop-tastrophes.
So
I can't imagine
you had a poop-tastrophe.
I can't imagine if that happened and you had carpet. Like it would just. I mean, your carpet would probably because it would just
keep grinding it in.
Yeah, grinds it right in.
Oh my heavens!
Will Roomba smear poop? Like people ask that. Like if you have to type that, then you already know the answer.
Yes.
What if?
Oh my gosh!
What to do if Roomba goes over poop? Bobby can answer that.
Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully you're home when it happens. It's good stuff.
So it runs when you're not there.
You can set it like on a schedule, but no, usually I'm there when it runs.
Okay. It's a good call.
Yeah.
Real good call.
There's times where I'll let it run. I mean, when I'm not there, the dog's not out, so it's not a big deal. He's in his kennel, so it's like he wouldn't be able to do that, and it would probably be fine. But I usually don't run it when we're not there.
Gotcha.
So
he saw an opportunity last night.
He did something.
You're watching a ball game.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
so it's got a little brush on the edge that spins. You've seen them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, where did it sling? Like, where did it sling a nugget? Like, is there a nugget under the couch? Like, I didn't flip the couch up and look, but I'm like, there could be a chunk somewhere that I have no idea.
I'm still reading Google results. This is hilarious.
Oh man!
Ran over dog feces and dragged it all around the living room.
Mine was the dining room, but yeah.
So if you folks have had any issues with this, be sure to comment down below in the comment section on YouTube.
Anyways,
your experience.
So today we're going to revisit another topic. You got something, Shannon? Go for it.
No. I've got notes for today's revisit.
Yeah. So we're going to revisit it because we're getting a couple weeks out from delayed harvest season, and it's always good to go over the stocking dates and all that good stuff. If Dale can pull those up for us when he's ready, when he stops reading poop stories, and we can give you all the stocking dates for the local rivers, or you already got them written down.
I got a few more, but they all stink.
I've got them written down here. I took some notes yesterday.
Bobby.
And then go through the etiquette again.
That's
all
a dad
that good
joke,
stuff.
by the way, Shannon. That was a dad joke.
I didn't catch it. I was reading my notes.
I said I found some more poop stories, but they all stink.
That's a dad joke.
That's a dad joke.
Right,
Just to be clear what a dad joke is.
No, okay. You know what happens if you eat aluminum foil?
What?
You sheet metal.
I like it.
How about that? Was that a dad joke?
I like it. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's delayed harvest time. It's just a few weeks away, and a lot of folks are excited about that. And this morning,
the temps
is a great indicator of what's to come.
The fish are going to be happy.
Absolutely, and happy this week.
Yeah,
honestly.
You know, in some years they've put fish in, and there's been concern about the fish dying because of water temps. And I mean, yeah, we could have another shift in our weather, but the long-term forecast, I think we're going to stay pretty nice. They could put fish in the river right now, and they'd be fine.
I think so too. And with that being said, Dale and Bobby, you guys remember this? They actually shifted the dates back to about to the end of the first week
on some of them,
going into the second week on the tailwater type areas. And adjusted some of the other creeks up toward the beginning of the delayed harvest time to account for potential warmer water in an area that's not necessarily Mother Nature controlled.
Yeah, they have. But I'm looking at it right here. The Mitchell River gets stocked October 3rd.
Don't know anything about it.
The Mitchell is in Surrey County down there. It's actually, I think, southeast of Mount Airy a little bit, like Dobson.
It's probably the furthest east.
Yeah, it's like that's going to be the hottest delayed harvest in the state.
What's the mountainous area?
Oh, it goes through some farm fields and
say foothills.
Yeah,
so it's
totally
going to get some sun on it there. Obviously,
they call it. The nickname is the ditch.
Okay.
Because it goes through some fields, so there's not a lot of shade on.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's some pretty sections and whatnot, but yeah, I mean that's one that they probably, I mean that's coming out of that Marion hatchery. That's not going to be the Setzer, but yeah, that's one I think that they probably could look at.
Gotcha. Okay.
This year probably not. Looks like
Yeah, I
temps are
think
gonna
they'll be
good.
okay this year. But back in the Tuckasegee up, it's getting fish on the 7th and 11th in Jackson County, and
Correct.
let's see, Swain.
The
We're looking
10th.
at the 10th.
The 10th. That's right. Upper Nantahala is on the 4th.
Yep.
Big Snowbirds on the 3rd. Good old West Fork of the Pigeon and the Waynesville area over there is on the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be plenty of opportunities.
3rd is a Monday, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
that's
that's the first. Just going to be the first stocking day due to they're not going to come in and work on a Saturday to dump fish.
Yeah.
They ain't going to get paid no OT.
So yeah, it's coming quick. We got some nice cold water. The weather's perfect. I don't think people are going to be able to necessarily wet wade very long this fall.
not if these temperatures keep up. I say the water's going to get cold.
The rest of this week, if you look at your low temps, it's going to be kind of what we were this morning, potentially colder depending on elevation, of course.
Yeah.
And we already took a nosedive up at the gauge at Cataloochee. It got down to 50. What was that, Adam? About 58? It was 58 up there.
Yeah.
The last reading this morning.
It's going to be the wheelhouse.
That's we're getting there for sure.
The kind of had a Montana feel to the morning out there,
It did.
like just crisp.
Mhm.
You know,
Felt
And
good
then
though.
We're going to warm up into the mid 70s, upper 70s or so.
Correct.
And I did see next week we get back into the 80s, but our overnight lows are in the low 50s.
That's the
That's
key.
the key. Yep.
That's the key. Is those nighttime temperatures? That's when you're going to cool off there for sure.
Well, and the days are shorter, so that 80 degrees isn't going to hang on for
It's
4
only
hours.
for an hour.
It's
Yeah.
for like an
Yeah,
hour
dude,
and it's
it's-
gone.
I've got the lights on outside throwing darts about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean it's
Getting dark.
It's dark. Yeah, that's
good stuff.
times are changing, fellers. It's a good.
Shadows are
good
getting
time.
longer. Days are getting shorter.
That's true for sure. No doubt about that. So delayed harvest, for you folks that may be listening for the first time and are not aware of what we're talking about, delayed harvest is a regulation in North Carolina that goes from October 1 through the first Friday in June. And in those 34 designated boundaries, it is a single hook artificial lure catcher and release fishery. Okay. And the state during that time frame in the month of October, November, March, April, and May will stock fish in that. And then that first Saturday in June at noon becomes hatchery supported regulations until the last day of September. And this is an opportunity for a lot of folks to come out and get on fish, access. In some of these cases, not everywhere, it tends to be a little bit easier or more accessible. But still, the one thing I want to point out to people is respect the landowners that we have. We don't want to lose access by people doing things that are unscrupulous. And at the end of the day, I'm preaching to the
What?
choir here
Unscrupulous.
when it comes to fly anglers there. But it's just kind of if you see something, pick it up or whatever. Let's try to do some due diligence out there and keep everybody happy, so we continue to have these great areas that we can fish coming up fall, winter, spring.
Ain't no Roombas out there. Pick it up for you.
No Roombas to clean it up.
The Roombas that clean it up.
They don't clean up the messes
Yeah.
by the river.
That's exactly right.
Folks, quick reminder, we are recording today in front of a live audience. We have Adam eerily standing near the fly tables watching us. Pounding Red Bull.
He's got wings. He's about to fly away.
He's just watching, seeing how we do it.
That's right.
We just talk.
That's it.
It's just a talking.
And Adam don't want to get on here and talk.
Next week or week after or whenever we do this again.
Yeah.
One of those times.
Adam's like, I don't know about this. I don't know. When it comes to delayed harvest there, you're going to see, especially on the Tuckasegee, understand you're going to have float traffic as well as waiting traffic. There's a lot of people in a small area. So certainly the respect that you need to do yielding an area, to a fellow angler. Just don't march 10 feet in front of somebody out there. Have some common courtesy. There's plenty of water widthwise and lengthwise in that particular fishery that you can spread out. But just you see somebody catching a fish out there and catching multiple fish, just don't. That's
Yeah.
like a little feet patter going over to him there. I was trying to do my best, Fred Flintstone. Just have some common courtesy when it comes to that too.
Yeah.
But have some understanding too, right? Like it's not the same etiquette rules as a national park creek.
Where you give them a mile.
Give them a mile.
You know?
They don't even do that no more.
Right, but like if you see somebody, you want to go up the stream until you can't see them no more. That's not the case on delayed harvest. I mean, not to dumb it down or anything, but I kind of equate delayed harvest to the par 3. Like it's not the same rules. Like T-shirts and cutoff jeans are acceptable on the par 3s, right?
I doubt it at Augusta.
Never done it, but anyway.
Not at Augusta.
I got you.
Not at
So
Augusta.
George, okay. I think what you're trying to say is, if I see Dale's out there, with his Scott fly rod and a Scott hat on, and I see him, I might, hey man, I want to fish. How far up are you going, or what area are you working, and communicate, and then I can go.
Yeah, that conversation's important. I think
huge.
It helps.
Huge.
But it never fails if you're standing in a creek, a delayed harvest stream, and you start catching fish, and you're by yourself, in about 10 minutes, you're going to have people around you.
Yeah, they somehow just keep gradually getting closer.
Remember one time I was fishing down here, I had Bryson out there. He must have been 5, and it was a low water day on the Tuck, right? So I can carry him out there, set him on a rock, because I think even then the current would have knocked him over. But man, he's just out there turning over the indicator, putting fish in the net. We're having a good time, and here comes this older gentleman, and he's like, I'm like, really, man? This kid's like just over a toddler, and you're going to come in on top of him? I don't know.
That's the point. That's the
want
point
to
we're
catch a
making.
fish, man. You want to catch a fish.
That's it.
That's the point we're making.
So
maybe you just want to be like, what you using?
I mean, he could have seen it.
Maybe he's just wondered.
Oh, Lord.
With that being said, obviously DHs do get busy, and middle of the week's going to be better than weekends if you're looking to kind of avoid some of the crowd. But everything else will be fishing good in October and probably November. Like the national park's still going to fish awesome.
That's right.
So stuff off the Blue Ridge Parkway still going to fish awesome. Like so, don't feel like you're the only thing to fish is the Nantahala and the Tuck when you come up here. Like expand a little bit, go visit some different stuff, fish it in the fall rather than just in July. Go hit it up. You might be surprised what you'll find.
One of my favorite days on delayed harvest. I came down to the Tuck. There's like 50 people out there between North and South River Road, which I mean that's a busy day.
Sure.
I was like, you know what? Nah. Drove up to This is October. Drove up to Bradley Fort, up in the national park. I had the river to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Dry fly fishing.
Mm-hmm.
I if I had to say, it was somewhere around 30.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just about every drift. So.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Them little orange stimulators work great.
They work.
I think that day was a caddis.
Yeah,
but it was orange.
It's and the cool thing about what Dale's talking about there, other than the fact there's just not a lot of people in those particular areas, is the fact that you can come across a little bit bigger brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this time of year.
Absolutely.
Browns will be moving up.
They're going to be moving for spawning. The males let their guard down. They eat a little bit more, and you have that chance to move some fish that you may not move at any other time of the year up through there. In numbers, like Dale mentioned, people say, "Well, I didn't see a fish today," or whatever. Fish it then.
And I was that was before I was not a good angler to have that kind of day. So, don't feel like you got to be a pro to go up in the park. You certainly don't. It's all about water temp and opportunities.
That is exactly right. It is exactly right. It is a great time to hit these other places, and as Bobby mentioned, as people are going to hit these other waters, rightfully so, there's tons and miles is the right word to use of other waters, whether it's national park, national forest, Blue Ridge Parkway, state waters. Everything's in play.
Yeah,
everything is in play, and it's great wading conditions for the most part, unless Mother Nature dumps.
Yeah,
the best wading conditions you'll have all season is in the fall. Doesn't get no easier.
That's right.
Does not get no easier.
Heck yeah. What else?
So,
what flies should you start?
I was going to say flies, but also let's talk about floating. Understand that folks will be fishing via skiffs and routes.
At least in the Tuck.
In the
it's
Tuck
the only floatable DH really. I mean, not to say you can't float some others in a small craft, but it's the only floatable DH we got in the state, right? Am I wrong on that?
My only experience with DH is kind of Haywood West.
Yeah.
So I could not answer that question for you accurate.
I'm pretty sure it's a yes. I'm just trying to remember, like up north and east of us, how many more, like would like I said, you could take a kayak down a lot of stuff, but I'm talking like true drift boat.
True drift boat there. So understand that if you are going to be fishing the Tuckasegee watershed and you've not done it before, you will see rafts and skiffs out there any given day as well. So just be aware of that. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, and don't get, some folks are better rowers than others, but sometimes there's only one way to get a boat through, especially at certain water levels. So, it's one of those things. I understand you're fishing that hole, but that's the only place the boat has to get through, So you just got to be accepting of that. And hopefully on the reverse of that, whoever's rowing the boat apologized and said, hey, man, this is the only spot I got to go through. Sorry, I'm going to mess it up. We're not going to fish it. We're just going to roll over top and be out of your way. Give us, 30 seconds type thing. So, again, it's that conversation. Just be nice, courteous to each other. We hear some crazy stories in here. So that's the reason we're saying all this, so that everybody's just kind of like, we don't want people getting in fights over fish.
It's just fishing.
It's a fish.
It's just fishing.
There's no reason
people.
to get in a big spat or fight or anything over a fish.
That's
okay?
Right.
So that's the reason we're kind of mentioning all these things. Again, I think we've done this 2 or 3 times now since we've started the podcast, but I think it's super important to just kind of know that, there's no reason to get in that big of argument. Let it roll off your back. Get back to it. We're all out there for the same thing, just having a fun day.
It's anything else. It's a break. Take a
That's
break.
That's it.
Give the fish a rest for a second. Maybe regroup, reevaluate what's going on, and then go back and target that area that you're working the zone wise there. But tactics, flies, things of that nature. You'll see a lot of folks doing a lot of subsurface with nymphs. Various techniques, whether it's tight line nymphing or indicator type nymphing, and with all the different types of indicators out there. That's always popular with, I probably think we probably sell more the rubber leg type patterns, girdle bugs, Pat's rubber legs, whatever you want to call them. We sell more of those.
They work.
Frenchies.
Don't be afraid of a chubby.
I agree 100%. And just your core nymph patterns, fast water prints, a pheasant tail, Frenchie, hare's ear, Waltz worm. I mean, we can start doing all these derivatives, right? Woolly booger, brown, olive, white, black.
Those brook trout like
combination
those
of all
dirty
the
Roomba.
above. I mean,
the dirty Roomba. That's going to be a new fly.
I think that's actually a good idea, man.
The dirty Roomba.
The dirty Roomba. Adam at that point is rolling in the floor over there.
I'm going to have to make a
the dirty
fly.
Roomba.
It's called the dirty Roomba.
Oh, yeah. And
a lot of brown mop material.
The other thing, too, that
variegated chenille.
And Dale brought up a great point. They'll still hit top water out there. You do get these flies that hatch out there. And understand that soft tackles, bluing olives are going to come back into play here before long as well. Be in tune with what's happening out there. You'll see some folks streamer fishing, and all those things have the ability to be productive for you. And at first, the fish are going to be very, very eager, but then they wise up.
Yeah, they get tired of seeing and eating and getting stuck.
Then they wise up.
They only eat that pink egg so many times.
That's
and
right.
They go, I'm not going to eat that again.
Or the squirmy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's one of those things. Something else with tactics, and this kind of reverts back to what we were talking about pressure on the stream and number of people, is you don't have to be out there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Go at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and fish till dark. Like,
ain't nobody out there.
Nobody's out there in the evenings. Now that we say this, there might be more people, but usually I'd say from 3 o'clock on, the tuck, you drive by it, and there might be 1 or 2 people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it definitely gets less play.
Well, and a lot of the half-day trips end around lunchtime.
Yeah.
And you see it clear out.
Yeah, a lot of the guided trips and stuff get off the water, so it's fun to get up early. I get it. You're excited. But go fish the park.
And all the boat traffic's gone by then.
Yeah, they're through, especially in the top end of the tuck. But even if you're doing the Nantahala or the West Fork or any of that, I mean, it's I think that's a good play to, fish it later in the day and, see what you get.
So y'all mentioned, the Tuckasegee being one of the only delayed harvests that we know of. I mean, I know you can put a boat in the Green River, but it's the put-ins and takeouts that are a little tough. But
yeah, I'm talking like true drift boats.
Yeah, like Western style. Yeah. So understanding the generations from the dam, like that comes into play on our delayed harvest, whether it's the Jackson County stretch or the Swain County stretch over in Bryson City. So a lot of folks will say, oh, it's not waitable this morning, they're generating. Well, I mean, everybody's got to know their own limits, but let's say they're turning a dam on at 6 a.m. Typically, you've got until between 10 and 11 in the Webster stretch of the Jackson County Delayed Harvest to get in there and fish before the water shows up. When the water shows up, you've got time to get to the bank. But you can kind of play this a couple ways. You can get out, go fish somewhere else, okay, for the rest of the day. Or you get out and you just go downstream. So go down, fish along North River Road. That buys you at least 2 to 3 more hours of fishing. So now you're looking at, 1 or 2 o'clock for water coming up versus having to completely change the venue for the day. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, don't just write it off because you see a certain release. So give us a call and we can, explain, what do they call it when the water comes up?
Arrival time?
Arrival time of the flow and, descent of the flow when it goes back down. But fishing's always better when it comes up. So, it's a good time to be in there when that water starts coming up. But you want to be in there safe. So.
Yeah. Have your exit plan.
West is the best. Beast in the east.
East is a beast.
East Fork and West Fork of the Tuckasegee have dams on them, and that's what Duke Energy runs. So just got to kind of.
We got a good YouTube video.
Shannon's got a great video explaining.
That's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It puts you to sleep.
It's like it's a 25-minute video of looking at a computer screen, but he goes through how to read everything and go look. And I'm sure a couple things might have changed since that because it's been
a couple of years, hasn't it?
Yeah. So there may be a couple buttons that are in different spots on the Duke Energy site, but you'll get the gist of it and where you need to go and what numbers you're looking for, and that way you'll be a little more educated. The other thing on the generation is if you look at it tonight, when you wake up in the morning, you need to look at it again because it's probably changed. So don't go to bed and go, oh, we're golden. Because when you wake up in the morning and you get to the river, you may be like, what the heck? So they change it when they want to. Just because they put a schedule out doesn't mean that schedule is 100% accurate because conditions change, things change, power needs change, whatever it is, something changes. And Duke says, oh, let's flip the switch, So
some guy in an office cubicle in Charlotte pushes a button.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where in the reverse of that, it may be to your benefit. You may go to bed thinking, oh, I can't fish the tuck. And then you wake up in the morning and go, oh, we can fish it.
Things change.
That's it. So, keep an eye on it. I'd say get up while you're eating breakfast. Everybody, your buddies or whatever you're with, take a look at the generation, call us, come by, whatever, and then make your decision on should we go there or not. So gives you a better idea. It's a game day decision for sure.
And that also tends to, the next piece of advice I want to give is have a backup plan. Have a backup plan. If you're exclusively looking to fish the Tuckasegee River system, have a plan B. That plan B may be a sunburst area. That plan B may be a big snowbird. It could be an upper Nantahala. It could be the East Fork of the French Broad or whatever. Could be something in the national park.
Have a full tank of gas, too.
Yeah.
Hearing all that.
Have a backup plan. Have more than one rod. It may end up being a small creek day, which could turn out to be a great day for you. But
Absolutely.
Have the flexibility built into it. Just don't give yourself one option. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, as the old verbiage comes out.
But don't we do that? I mean, when you go get your chickens, don't you put all your eggs in one basket?
I do put all my eggs in one basket. Then they go into a container for distribution. Yeah. And, too, working the front lines here at the shop and the employees.
Front lines.
When people call, and then sometimes, we're reading what's on the screen. That's all we have available to us is currently what's posted. We see no more, we see no less. Don't drill us thinking that we know any more than we actually do. And then
that's why we keep the 8-baller hanging around.
Yeah. And then don't call back the next day or come in and say, well, you told me so-and-so. Well, yeah, I told you what was on the screen. We have no control over that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Just please, with all due respect, and we love sharing information with you, but just keep it.
We're all at Duke's mercy.
We're at Duke's mercy. We have no control on this thing here. So if you ask us, what is it showing tomorrow? And we read East Fork 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and they change it overnight and they run it the next 72 hours, I'm sorry. That's not our fault. So don't make it like we told you wrong information. We told you what was currently available.
Hey, a good option if the Tucks, and this is probably if they're only running one dam, not both dams, is get yourself a trout spay. Come talk to us. Get a little trout spay rod or a spay rod set up, and you can fish higher water without having to wade out to the center. You can make longer casts, get longer drifts, all that good stuff with less wading. So you can cover more water. So it's a great way to kind of learn a different tactic. Gives you an idea that you want to maybe go to the Pacific Northwest or the Great Lakes or something and fish for some steelhead. So you get some practice in for that, and you learn a new tool, as Dale calls it.
Yeah,
and it's kind of fun. The casting might be more fun than catching fish. Actually, I don't know. There's something about it. It's just kind of pure and rhythmic. It's pretty cool. So
it's different.
It is. So it's another way to fish the river when it's a little higher than you like and you don't want to get away from the bank as much. So kind of keep that in your back pocket. That's that whole bring an extra rod. That may be an idea because it's not just Duke. You have to think of rain. You know, if we get a natural storm.
We typically get tropical systems moving through.
So if you get, a little bit of high water, again, you got to know your limits. That's an option to throw on the Tuck. And there's not going to be many people out there usually that day, at least not waiting. You might have boats coming through. But so, anywho.
Yeah, we've said that for years.
Yeah. Well, I've been preaching trout spay for like 6 years.
I mean, it's perfect water.
I've seen a few here and there, but nobody's jumping in it. But if you want one, let me know and we'll order you one. Actually, Reddington's got a great trout spay kit.
The field kit?
Yeah, the field kit. It is completely set up. You don't have to do any of the math. You don't have to worry about the line weight, the grain weight. Like it's an all one shot. Buy it and you got a trout spay.
We got any of those coming?
I don't think I ordered any for the fall, but they're pretty simple to get. They usually have them in stock. So, anywho, yeah.
So one thing, not one thing. We said a lot here, but the saying "don't cuss the fiddle," right? Let's understand that trout would not be in this water without Duke Energy.
That's right.
Duke Energy gets a bad rap a lot of times.
At least on the Tuck.
On the Tuck because of things they're doing. There's a lot of things that are going on upstream on the East Fork related to the Cedar Cliff Reservoir, and those things were planned 20 years ago by the Federal Energy Commission. So, we just got to kind of go through those processes. But, the Nantahala, the lower Nantahala is not a trout stream without Duke Energy. It'd be a phenomenal smallmouth stream, but it would not have trout in there naturally. It gets too warm. And if you don't believe me, go look at the upper Nantahala in the summer. In July, you ain't going to catch a trout in there. So, these tail races that Duke manages give us these opportunities. And the Tuckasegee would be a phenomenal smallmouth fishery, too, without Duke. And maybe some people want that. But, there's one way that we get cold water in the Tuck sooner, and that's with Duke. And also in the winter, we get warmer water than the air temp because of Duke. It can be 20 degrees and that water is going to be 40 and we're still catching trout. So it's a love-hate relationship, I think, for everybody. But at the end of the day, we're glad we got Duke because, number one, everybody's got power. Number two, we got trout.
That's it. Power's pretty important.
Number 3, you got boat ramps.
And boat ramps, yeah.
I mean, they've done a lot. If you go back and look at everything that they have done, not only on the streams, but some of the lakes and things like that, they've done a lot.
Yeah, they give back. I mean, they're using a public resource to make money, so they should.
Yes.
But
and they do. They give back.
do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They do a great job with
but
giving back.
Duke's not the only one. I mean, anywhere you go in the country that has rivers that are managed and people use them for recreation, every power company, everybody yells at them.
I mean, South Holston wouldn't be the South Holston without TVA.
Yeah.
Point blank,
all
period.
that stuff. There's all that stuff. You go out west, there's some rivers out there that wouldn't be what they were without dams.
What, Henry's Fort?
I don't know. It might be. I don't know. I don't know the particulars. I just know there's some out there that it wouldn't be what it would be without the dams, So
I think the difference out there is a lot of it's irrigation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different stakeholders there depending on that water.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Interesting.
Anything else about DH? You got any more on that list, Shannon?
Fish barbless.
I just is kind of going through kind of what the regulations were, explain it in case people did not know. There had the dates for the Tuck, which Dale was hitting those. Up here, the 10th and October the 7th and the 11th, November the 2nd.
7-Eleven, always open, baby.
That's it. 11/2 and 11/8, so November 2nd, November the 8th. And November's an excellent month.
I think it's the best, besides April.
Usually most of the leaves are gone.
How would y'all rank?
Months?
Yeah, best months for fishing. Let's not think delayed harvest. What's your...
Are you talking about big fish, number of fish?
I think opportunity.
I
Define opportunity.
I like, as far as opportunity, there's nothing kind of like that springtime. Everything.
I think
coming
April's
along.
number one.
I kind of like that May to the first couple of weeks of June in the national park type thing has always been fun to me.
I think November. This is what made me think of November's number 2 on my list.
I think December is better than November. Fishing's
think
just as good as November, but there's not as many people.
That's exactly
But
right.
the weather can be a little more volatile in terms of temps. We can have that cold snap, and they're already talking about a polar vortex forming.
Yeah.
So over the North Pole, which I thought there's just always polar vortexes there.
I kind of would have thought the same thing.
I think it's gonna be a cold winter, boys.
Yeah, we're due
if it-
for an Arctic blast.
If it is a cold December, then the fishing will be slower. But to Bobby's point, you do have the river to yourself. Lodging rates, man, it's dirt cheap around here.
And there's some things you can do to stay warm as well. So it's not like you're just going to go freeze to death either.
Yeah.
Little tricks there, and not. And we know that January and February have been very productive in some years based upon weather.
I mean, I'd say most December mornings are cold, but
Usually you end up around 60 degrees.
man, if you start fishing at 10:30, 11 o'clock and fish till 5, like that's a great day,
Yeah.
and it's not that cold out. It really isn't most days. So
But it's, as you said, it's going to be a cold winter.
This year the high will be 37.
Yeah.
And,
that'll be fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. But I think if you take the
kinda like-
average over the past 10 years, December is a pretty good month.
It
I told
is.
Marvin on the
It is.
Articulate Fly that the past few years we've seen June be cooler than May until this year.
I mean, last year terrestrials were working on Christmas Eve. I mean,
people were catching brook trout in December.
Yeah.
It was 70 degrees the week.
that's
after
what I'm
Christmas.
saying. Like,
Yeah, it
if you
was
take the
wild.
average over the past 10 years, I think December's
All right, so
a solid month.
April, November, December, October is, I think, the sexiest month.
But
I think
It depends on where you're at.
I think it's the reverse of December. Some years it can be too hot.
Yeah.
or
You know,
the elephant in the room is all the leaves falling on top of you.
Yeah, the leaves dropping suck.
It is amazing how a leaf can look like a fishy.
Dude,
Oh, it
under an
totally
indicator.
feels like it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, got
Or
one.
when you're there in a small creek and the leaves are falling down and they hit your rod and you feel every
Mm-hmm.
leaf. I mean, it just starts snowing leaves on you. It's
Oh, I can't wait.
yeah, it's
It's been a long, hot summer.
It's a love-hate relationship,
Yeah.
of course, right?
Those leaves are falling up at our house already.
Oh yeah, yes. I sat down there in the fishbowl yesterday and
Need to
watching
borrow the Red
them,
Max.
watching them fall by the train tracks
yeah.
off the big tree right
Yeah,
down
the
through there.
breeze yesterday, they were coming off like crazy.
It was kind of overcast. It just had a fall look to it. Very, very fall-like.
Well, the sun's right.
Very nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, anything else of importance?
You can, I mean, if we want to talk about a fishing report, anything important for DH, you mean?
Yeah, DH. And then we'll do the fishing report.
I'd say the next most important thing is to check out flyshopusa.com and get your fly time materials now and tie up. You know, we are well stocked on fly tying. We've got various types of egg yarn and flash and rubber legs and variegated chenille. One thing from Semper Fly is that's really cool. It's over there behind Bobby. It's the straggle string. It's like dubbing on
It's good stuff.
dubbing on a spool.
It's good stuff.
It is. It's amazing.
Poly yarns. Excuse me. There's poly yarns and the amber colors and stuff. Great fall dry fly pattern.
We've got some
colors.
stuff coming from Semper Fly called the Squirmy Killer. So I'm interested to see.
Looks like
What?
power bait. I think that's called power bait. Berkeley. You sure it's from Semper Fly? It's not from Berkeley.
Walmart. So
Oh.
it says it's a chenille, but it's got
Yeah.
great movement.
I know what it is. I've seen
So
it, yeah.
we've got it coming in. So it'll be online and in the shop. So, but also, if you haven't already, do an inventory of your gear. Make sure the mice hadn't got to your waders. But again, we're well stocked right now for the fall, And once stuff's gone, it's gone. We're very fortunate to have the waders in stock that we've got. Just talking with the folks with Sims and Orvis, battling through logistics and things like that still. So we're sitting good. We've got a plethora of boots, wading boots, Vibram and felt.
And buy them this year. Like, even if you're
Oh, my
like,
gosh.
oh, I might wait another year.
This
I
is
would
your
buy 'em
discount
now.
right here. Bobby
Yeah.
is announcing your discount.
I would buy them now because everything went up this year. So all the manufacturing for the materials, because they're making waders right now for next year, all that stuff costs more. So the waders next year are going to be more. Guaranteed.
Wading boots and
Everything
waders.
is going to cost more next year than
And
what it does right now. So buy them now.
We've seen that pricing. It's not an assumption. We've seen the
yeah.
pricing.
Yeah, we know what things are going to jump to. So
So if you can get a pair of waders right now for, what's the Clearwater, $249?
It's $229.
$229.
Did you just let the cat out of the bag?
I don't know. I can't remember.
yeah, I can't remember.
I don't think Orvis is going up in the
They already
spring.
went up.
They already went up.
They went up in the spring of this year. I don't remember if they're going up in the
But
spring. I have
Sims,
to look at the order.
the Freestone is making a pretty good jump, but it is a phenomenal wader that they've made it into.
It actually
So
feels like a G3,
it does.
like when you touch
Yeah.
it.
That
So-
four-layer Torre. Yeah.
It is pretty nice for what it is. But
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff's going up. So if you think like, man, I can get one more year out of these, I'd probably go ahead and buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that to sell you more stuff. I'm just saying
And then you got a backup pair.
you can probably
if
save yourself 30, 40, 50 bucks
you're-
if you buy it this year rather than next year. So, and that's probably with everything. If you're buying a new car, it's probably cheaper to buy it this year than it is next year.
Ooh.
Just
We
to say.
found that out yesterday.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think anything is that way. So
We went. Taylor Ford over there had a Lightning sitting out there to test drive.
Uh-huh. Right. Right.
We test drove the Ford Lightning yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Was it a lightning rod?
Dude, when you punch it, it throws you against the seat.
There you go. Okay. A lightning rod.
So there's going to be some people getting tickets with that truck. But you know, Bobby and I, we were chatting about the cons of the battery, and it's kind of concerning. You know, down the road, like
what'd they say? $33,000 to replace the entire-
$33,000.
all the battery cells.
But they told us that it's on a grid system. So Shannon, pick your jaw up.
33,000.
They said it's like a golf cart battery. It's in grids, so they can change individual cells. And the guy, well, it does have an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty on that battery. And I was like, that's great. That gets me 4 years.
Yeah.
On 100,000 miles. I won't. You know, the 8 years I'll be 200,000. And so I think there's a lot of questions there. But we were chatting about, like, you know, what if it's you know, I drove to work today with half a charge, and now something's come up. I need to go pick up inventory in Asheville or something. I don't know that I can make that driving back on a half charge. So it's like you really have to plan, or just be set in a routine.
Yep.
But I think there's still a ways to go, and then the price. Talking about prices going up. So the one we test drove, as it sat on the lot, was $81,000.
Oh.
Yeah. $81,000.
Dale and Bobby will not be buying the Lightning. Let me just put that out there.
Holy smoke.
If I'd have known that, Shannon, I probably wouldn't have drove it off the lot. We didn't ask that first.
$81,000. Dude, when I left the car business, you could buy a Corvette for less than that.
That's right. That's right. Not much more. You can still get that Corvette, a brand new one. Ain't but like 105, I think. So
Let's see, the Grand Cherokee Wagoneer.
It starts
or the
at like
Grand
99.
$90-some thousand dollars.
That's the
dude.
starting point.
Starting, I was like, I hadn't looked at these. I just saw the commercial, and they said starting at.
So the guy tells us the 23s are going up. He said every EV that is produced is going up $7,500. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Why? You know, it sounds kind of odd. The government puts a subsidy on there.
Yeah.
For $7,500.
$7,500.
So you're getting a rebate from the government.
Yes.
So all the manufacturers said, let's tack on
That's right.
$7,500.
Yeah,
We can get $7,500 more.
Mhm.
So now that's an $88,000 car.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
anyway,
Boy, times are. They ain't what they used to be, fellers.
if you do have an EV and you're looking to drive up here for delayed harvest, we do have charging stations.
There is.
Yeah.
right
and
here in downtown Silva.
There's here, Dillsboro.
Dillsboro's
You
got
could
one.
actually, this is kind of cool to think about. You can go fly fish Scotts Creek
while
while
your car's
charging.
charging.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's in the same parking lot.
Kill an hour fish while it's charging. And
Could you get a shuttle to the creek? while your car's charging.
I mean, you can walk.
Well, if you want to go fish another one.
Yeah, you can call my parents. They'll come pick you
They
up.
got your shuttle right there.
Yeah.
So look at there.
336-858-7870.
There you go.
So, and if anybody's out there that has your own boat, we do. My parents run shuttles for everybody around here. So, we'll give a shop a call. We'll get
How
you
long have they
connected.
done that?
Oh, through the pandemic, I want to say 3 years now.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
I mean, it's been
Don't know.
they got a
Yeah.
lot of regulars.
Oh, they do.
Got a
yeah,
lot
not
of-
just guides. I mean,
A
it's
lot of
private
regulars.
individuals.
Yeah, that they do use.
Yeah.
Uses them for sure.
All right, fishing report, Dale. What you got?
Oh man, orange. I mean, it's here. It's been here for about a month already. But orange stimulators are working really well. The biggest change from the summer fishing reports to now is that you can fish all day, even in the valleys. I know we've been on Scotts Creek on some September days and seen the water hit 76 degrees down here at Monteith Park in the afternoon. We're not dealing with that now. As we were talking before, this has been a cooler September than we've seen in the past. So, you're fishing all day, still fishing dry flies. I fished headwaters of one of the headwaters of the Tuckasegee, and it was dry fly. Like we started dry dropper, but we cut the dropper off. It was just nonsense. So they were only eating the dry fly, so we cut it off. So all day fishing. I think you still get to start early, but some of these creeks, Deep Creek, all day. You don't have the tubers now, so like you did. I think you still got probably some coming through, but it's not going to be the same volume as it was in the summer. So the national park stream's fishing great. Fly fishing trails fishing great. The Tuck, you can go out. There's parts of the Tuck you can go out there and still catch some trout right now before they stock. But you're not going to be in the delayed harvest. So you want to look for those hatchery supported sections. And certainly there, I think more than delayed harvest, you got to be mindful of, property rights and things like that, what Shannon was talking about. So yeah, that's what I got. Shannon, you were out there the other day for a stream report and nailed 6 fish after we left. So what do you have to add to that?
Dry flies, good cast, good drift. Watch your drag, watch your approach, watch the clothing you wear, and the way you move through the water. The way I was set up there, I had a little bit bigger dry with about a foot or so behind that. I had a size 20 little dry fly right in the surface film. Kind of sets partially like an emerger, but still a dry. And that was the cat's meow. And you're using that bigger fly as somewhat of an indicator, or at least in the zone, and you're watching for a little tick. If that kind of moves just a little bit, I mean, you're setting the hook. There's no hesitation. So I like that tactic this time of the year until we really see them keying on those bigger flies. Peacock caddis, Griffin's gnats. Griffin's gnats easily overlooked. Great producer year round. And ants, the cinnamon ant and the black ant topwater can be really great choices. But low water, you've really got to watch your drift. You've got to watch your presentation. You may say, I didn't see the first fish, but they're there. There's something that kept them from coming to take, whether there was an angler ahead of you or the way you move, the shadow, the clothing you were wearing that were preventing you from that. But the fish are there. It's only going to get better with them being eager to eat. And trust me, they're going to be eager to eat.
Cool deal.
One thing I could add, too, we were fishing up there with Cliff and Aiden.
Mm-hmm.
I told Cliff, I said, man, it kind of feels like we're fishing behind somebody. We'd have one shot at a fish in a hole, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And if you missed the hook set, it was one of those move on to the next one. I said,
right.
Man, there wasn't any boot prints on rocks or anything. Nobody else was up there.
Right.
But it just had that feeling.
Sure.
We kept pushing forward, and we said, all right, let's walk 10 minutes before we get back in. And what happened was we were fishing water that another outfitter guides a lot. And so it was pressured water. But we moved up to where it was pretty rugged to get into it. And you got to work to get there. And it paid off. All of a sudden, it was better eats, not those sneaky, subtle eats that you miss sometimes.
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
And it was multiple fish in a hole.
Sure.
So trudge ahead. You know, if you have that feeling, if you say to yourself, man, it's just kind of off. This feels like I'm fishing. You kind of are. So
Great point.
move up.
It's a definitely a great point. Nothing like putting in a little bit of footwork to get you
That's
to
it.
some more opportunities. No doubt about that. All good stuff, gentlemen.
Good deal. Let's actually go do some work now since it's the work day.
I've been doing work.
All right.
I'm putting stuff on the web store as we speak.
That wraps up another exciting and informative episode of the Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon, presented by Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service, located at 3 Depot Street, Bryson City, North Carolina, and 530 West Main Street, Sylvan, North Carolina, and Waynesville. Be sure to visit www.tuckflyshop.com for streamflow information, book a guided trip, or even shop for your favorite Tuckasegee Fly Shop gear. Follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckasegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and on YouTube at Tuckasegee Fly Shop. If you have a question or comment, feel free to send those to info@tuckflyshop.com or give us a call, 1-828-488-3333. For Coach Dale Diesel Collins, Bobby the Bearded Wonder Bennett, I'm Shannon, Big Mess Messer. We'll catch you next week. Be sure to catch a few fish out there, won't you? Y'all take care.